Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today is for actually today is June 4, 2026, and we are scheduled for the TV conference of working civil works projects and also pre-procurement conference of for contracts for consultancy and deliberation of the post-qualification results of two civil works contracts. So to open this proceeding, may we request permission, Mr. Ibrahim, for any conclusion?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Ar-Rahmanirrahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin.
Thank you, sir. May I request the secretary to call the roll of attendees?
Kanya-kanyang power bank. May parang tatlo ba na pinag.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For today's private conference, pre-procurement conference, and deliberation meeting, here are the attendees. Attorney Jahara Makatato, the Doctor of Engineer Bashir Pastor Second Ibrahim, the Vice Chair. Sir Khan, Engineer Arnold L. Mataya, Back Professional Member. Engineer Manarico L. Maraki, Back Professional Member representing the end user, joining us via Zoom. Engineer Masidi and Mobona, OIC Chief of the Maintenance Division. We have Chief Rizal, Chief of Equipment Management Position. Engineer Erwan N. Lumandaya, Back Deputy Chief for Civil Works. Engineer Jessica Romano, Back Secretariat. Ma'am Grace Marcelo, Back Secretariat. Engineer Vanessa J. Salazar, Back Secretariat. Engineer Roberto Gabriel Cadano Capuno, from the Planning and Design Division. Attorney Saidan Tigay Maumal, Back Secretariat. Engineer Israel and Balolo from the Planning and Design Division. And Engineer Abdul Rafi Bili, Back PWG for Consultancy. Also joining us via Zoom is a representative from our resident auditor, Ma'am Naisha Aana. That will be all.
Waiting kayo kanina dito. Sinabi na siya.
And also to add, Madam Chair, also we have a representative from AJYFC office joining us via Zoom.
Thank you. So we should considering that all of the bank members are in attendance, we serve Manarico Baraki joining us online. So I hereby declare this proceeding in quorum on in order. So may we confirm with the secretary if they have invited observers from the private sectors and NGOs?
Yes, Madam Chair, we have invited the observers from private sectors and NGOs.
Thank you. So please put it on record that we have invited observers from the private sectors and NGOs, but none attended today's proceeding, but nevertheless, their non-attendance shall not nullify this proceeding. And we are also currently live stream in the official YouTube account of the PWH Unite Well. And we can also be accessed via the link provided in the PWH website and in the Zoom link provided in the invitation to meet. So for today's pre-bid conference, we have 14 civil works contracts in agenda. So we have 25 MO 0066, 25 MO 0067, 25 MO 0259, 25 MO 0199, 25 MO 0017, 26 MO 0091, 26 MO 0092, 26 MO 003, 26 MO 0004, 26 MO 005, 26 MO 0014, 26 MO 0015, 26 MO 0016, and 26 MO 0017. So to present the basic contract data of this project, so may we hear from Sir Mashur Mastur Ibrahim from Planning and Design Division.
Good morning, everyone, for the basic contract data for contract ID 25 MO 0066. Construction of using takes, Lulos, Columbia, Latayan, Coronadal Road, 91, Sultan Darat. This is a construction of concrete bridge with 190.8 square meters and a construction of low protection structure with 1,680 square meters. The full budget for the contract is 96,500,000. Contract duration is 180 calendar days. For contract ID 25 MO 0067, construction of missing links, the roads that have addressed Columbia Matano Road, Package 2, Sultan Kudarat. This is a replacement of bridge with 143.1 square meters. The construction of road slope protection structure is 1,382.51 square meters. And a construction of concrete road with 0.742 lane kilometers. The full budget for the contract is 96,500,000 with a contract duration of 180 calendar days. For contract ID 25 MO 0259, construction of river bank protection along Marvel River, Barangay Sarabia, Coronadal City. This is a construction of flood mitigation structure with 625.23 meters. The approved budget for the contract is 96,500,000. The contract duration of 184 calendar days. The contract ID 25 MO 0199, preventive maintenance, North and Dasan Parang Road, section ID S 01761 NN. Case 1868 to 1872, Sultan Masturan, Mangingarong del Norte. This is an asphalt overlay with 13.028 lane kilometers. The approved budget for the contract is 193 million. The contract duration of 130 calendar days. For contract ID 25 MO 0017, widening of permanent bridges, Liana Bridge, Bridge ID 01043 NN, along Maharlika Highway, Lubos Mapa Road, Balongosa Aganis. This is a widening of bridge with 437.886 square meters. The approved budget for the contract is 3,775,485 with a contract duration of 155 calendar days. For contract ID 26 MO 0091, rehabilitation, reconstruction, upgrading of damaged paved roads, Ramsan Simoy Junction Road, section S 01756 NN, channel 367 to change 783 at Sultan Kudarat, Maguindano del Norte. This is a rehabilitation, reconstruction, upgrading of damaged paved roads with 0.832 lane kilometers. The approved budget for the contract is 23,568,195 with a contract duration of 157 calendar days. For contract ID 26 MO 0092, rehabilitation, reconstruction, upgrading of damaged paved roads, Lanzan Simoy, Junction Road, section IDS 01756, again, change 783, change 1016, at Sultan Kudarat, Manila Norte. This is area of limitation, the construction of rate of damage roads is 0.466 lane kilometers. The approved budget for the contract is 13,513,860, with a contract duration of 67 calendar days. The contract N26 MO0003, preventive maintenance, Makilala Ada Valley Road, is 1624 to 1625, plus 095 at number of Cotabato. This is an asphalt overlay. 6.492 lane kilometers. The approved budget for the contract is 123,640,625, and a contract duration of 410 calendar days. For contract ID 26 MO0004, preventive maintenance, Makilala Alabang Road, is 1625 plus 095 to 1626. Plus 180 at along north of Cotabato. This is an asphalt overlay with 6.492 lane kilometers. The approved budget for the contract is 123,640,625, and a contract duration of 110 calendar days. For contract ID 26 MO0005, preventive maintenance, Makilala Alabang Road, case 1626 plus 180. Okay, 1627 plus 634 at Blackmore, Cotabato. This is an asphalt overlay with 8.7 lane kilometers. Approved budget for the contract is 165,450,215. Contract duration is 123 calendar days. For contract ID 26 MO0014, preventive maintenance, primary roads, Marliga Highway, Marbel Maca Road, K 1687 plus 244 to K 1687 plus 704 and 2B. South Cotabato, this is an asphalt overlay with 2.76 lane kilometers. The approved budget for the contract is 52,120,615. Contract duration is 81 calendar days. For contract ID 26 MO0015, preventive maintenance, primary roads, Marliga Highway, Ligos Maca Road, K 1648 plus 486, K 1648 plus 865 at General Santos City. This is an asphalt overlay with 0.758 lane kilometers. The approved budget for the contract is 11,444,900. Contract duration is 36 calendar days. Contract ID 26 MO0016, preventive maintenance, primary roads, Marliga Highway, Ligos Maca Road, is 1652 plus 110 to 1652 plus 701 at General Santos City. This is an asphalt overlay with 2.1 lane kilometers. The approved budget for the contract is 31,749,465. Contract duration is 64 calendar days. For contract ID 26 MO0017, preventive maintenance, Marliga Highway, Marble Maca Road, is 1699 plus 485, is 1700 plus 038. This is an asphalt overlay with 2.136 lane kilometers. The approved budget for the contract is 28,716,470. Contract duration is 62 calendar days, so that will be all for the basic contract data. Madam Chair.
Thank you, sir. So to present the requirements of leading documents, which includes the instructions of deliveries, the general conditions and special conditions of contract, the specifications, drawings and use of quantities. So this will be discussed by Engineer Roberto Gabriel Conrad of Pulong Planning and Design Division.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For contract ID 25M00066, construction of designates new roads, Pulong Dutayan Coronadal Road, package I, Pulong Sultan Dalat. The scope of work is as follows. Under CW1, construction of roads, local protection structure, Part A, facilities for the engineering group, the following: provision of field office for the engineer on a rental basis, and provision of 4x4 type services to be for the engineer on their rental basis. Part B, other general requirements includes the following: Project billboard signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization and mobilization, and geotechnical investigation, exploration. Part C reference includes the following. Removal of actual structures and obstruction.
Bakit pwede na lang siya dyan?
150 million. 150 Surface common excavation, structure excavation, common soil, foundation fill, pipe culverts and drain excavation, common soil, embankment from borrow, common soil, and sub-grade preparation, common material. Part B, sub-base and base course includes the following. Aggregate sub-base course. Part E, surface courses includes the following. Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 150 millimeters thick at 14 days. And Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 280 millimeters thick at 14 days. Part F, bridge construction includes the following. Reinforcing steel deformed grade 40 and structural concrete class B at 20.68 MPa. Part G, drainage and slope protection structures includes the following. Stone masonry, mechanically stabilized earth retaining walls, and select granular backfill. Part H, miscellaneous structures includes the following. Metal guardrail, including post, single W beam, metal beam end piece, bull nose, reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white, reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings yellow, and single arm solar LED roadway lighting, 80 to 125 watts on the 12-meter pole. Under CW2, replacement of bridge. Part C, earthworks includes the following. Surface common excavation with embankment from borrowed common soil, bridge excavation, common soil, sub-grade preparation common material, and and removal of structures and obstructions steel. Part B, sub-base and base course includes the following. Aggregate sub-base course. Part E, surface courses includes the following. Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 150 millimeters thick at 14 days. Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 280 millimeters thick at 14 days. And Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 300 millimeters thick at 14 days. Part F, bridge construction is the following. Concrete piles cast in drilled holes 1.5 meters in diameter. Permanent casing 1.5 meters in diameter, 12 millimeters thick. Pile integrity testing, cross-hole sonic, high strain dynamic testing. Concrete railing standard, reinforcing steel deformed grade 60, reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, structural concrete class A, 28 MPa, 14 days, and beam concrete class B at 16.5 MPa. Part G, drainage and slope protection structures includes the following. Rotted riprap class A, steel sheet piles slope protection, concrete slope protection, and green pipe PVC. Part H, miscellaneous structures includes the following. Reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white and reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings yellow. For contract ID 25M00067, construction of missing links new roads, Nato Paglas Columbia Metano Road, Package 2, Columbia Sultan Federal, the scope of work is follows. Under CW1, construction and road slope protection structure, Part A, facilities for the engineer includes the following. Provision of field office for the engineer on rental basis, and provision of 4x4 pickup type service vehicle for the engineer on bare rental basis. Part B, other general requirements is the following. Project billboard signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization and mobilization, and additional geotechnical investigation. Part C, earthworks includes the following. Individual removal of trees, small, 300 to 500 millimeters in diameter. Removal of actual structures and obstruction, concrete. Removal of actual structures and obstruction, 280 millimeters thick PCCP unreinforced. Structure excavation, common soil. Embankment from roadway excavation, common soil, and from borrow, common soil. Part G, drainage and slope protection structures includes the following. Stone masonry and mechanically stabilized earth retaining walls. Under CW2, construction of concrete road. Part C, earthworks includes the following. Foundation fill, sub-grade preparation common material. Part D, sub-base and base course includes the following. Aggregate sub-base course. Part E, surface courses includes the following. Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 150 millimeters thick at 14 days. And Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 280 millimeters thick at 13 days. Part F, bridge construction includes the following. Reinforcement steel deformed grade 14, structural concrete, class A, 20.68 MPa at 20 days. And lean concrete, class B at 16.5 MPa. Part H, miscellaneous structures includes the following. Reflectors and plastic pavement marking is white. Single arm solar LED with lighting 80 to 195 watts, 12-meter pole. Metal guardrail, metal beam, including post, single W beam, and metal beam and piece bone nose. Under CW3, replacement of bridge, Part C earthworks includes the following: removal of actual structures in construction concrete, bridge structure excavation, common soil, embankment from borrowed common soil, and sub preparation, common material. Part B sub-basin base course includes the following: aggregate sub-base course. Part E surface courses includes the following: Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced, 300mm thick at 40 days. Part F bridge construction includes the following: concrete piles, cast and drilled holes 1.5 meters in diameter, permanent casing 1.5 meters in diameter, 12mm thick, pile integrity testing, cross-hole sonic, high strain dynamic testing, PDA, concrete railing standard, reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, reinforcing steel deformed grade 60, structural concrete class A, 28 MPa at 28 days, and lean concrete class B at 16.5 MPa. Part G drainage and slope protection structures includes the following: sheet piles, steel slope protection, concrete slope protection, and drain pipe PAC. For contract ID 25M00259, construction of riverbank protection along Marble River, Barangay Sarabia, Coronadal City, the scope of work is as follows. Part A facilities for the engineer includes the following: provision of field office for the engineer on rental basis, and provision of 4x4 pickup type service vehicle for the engineer on bare rental basis. Part B, other general requirements includes the following: project billboard signboard, occupational safety and health program, and mobilization. Part F, bridge construction includes the following: reinforcing steel deformed grade 40s, reinforcing steel deformed grade 60, and structural concrete, class A, 21 MPa at 14 days. Part G, drainage and slope protection structures includes the following: hand-made block embankment. Part 1A, earthworks includes the following: clearing and graveling, structure excavation, common soil, embankment from borrow, and aggregate sub-base course. Part 1B, bank and slope protection works includes the following: riprap class A, concrete slope protection, and finishing of steel sheet piles, D-type grade 50. Part 1C, drainage works includes the following: pipe culverts. For contract ID 25M00017, widening of permanent bridges, Biahan Bridge, bridge ID 01043MN, along Highway, Ricos Maka Road, Maluman, South Valley. The scope of work is as follows. Part A, facilities for the engineer includes the following: provision of field office for the engineer on rental basis, and provision of 4x4 pickup test service vehicle for the engineer on bare rental basis. Part B, other general requirements includes the following: project billboard signboard, occupational safety and health program, mobilization, and geotechnical investigation. Part C, earthworks includes the following: removal of actual structures in construction concrete, structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway and structure excavation, common soil, embankment from borrowed common soil, and preparation, common material. Part D, sub-basin base course includes the following: aggregate sub-base course. Part E, surface course includes the following: gravel surface course, Portland cement concrete pavement, unreinforced, 280mm thick at 14 days. Portland cement concrete pavement, reinforced, 300mm thick at 14 days. Part F, bridge construction includes the following: concrete piles, cast and drill holes, 1.6 meters in diameter, permanent casing, 1.6 meters in diameter, 12mm thick. Pile integrity testing, cross-hole sonic, high strain dynamic testing, reinforced concrete railing standard, reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, reinforcing steel deformed grade 60, structural concrete class A at 28 MPa at 28 days. Precessed structural concrete members type 4B, girder, lean concrete class B, and elastomeric bridge bearings. Part G, drainage and slope protection structures includes the following: grouted riprap class A, steel sheet piles, slope protection, concrete slope protection, and drain pipe galvanized iron. Part H, miscellaneous structures includes the following: reflectors, thermoplastic pavements marking white. For contract ID 25M00091, rehabilitation, reconstruction, upgrading of damaged paved roads, Lansan Semway Junction Road, Section ID S015756MN, change 367 to change 783, Sultan Fidelidad, Maguindanao del Norte, and contract ID 26M00092, rehabilitation, reconstruction, upgrading of damaged paved roads, Lamsan and Y Junction Road, section ID S015756MN, change 783 to change 71016, Sultan Fidelidad, Maguindanao del Norte. The scope of work is as follows. Part A facilities for the engineer is the following: provision of field office for engineer on a basis, and provision of 4x4 pickup type service vehicle for the engineer or on a basis. Part B, other general requirements is the following: private billboard signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, and mobilization. Part C, earthworks includes the following: removal of actual structures and obstruction, concrete, PCCP unreinforced 180 mm stick, structure excavation common soil and subgrade preparation common material. Part B, sub-base and base course includes the following: aggregate sub-base course. Part E, surface courses includes the following: Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 180 mm stick affordable base. Part F, bridge construction includes the following: reinforcing steel deformed with 40 structural concrete class B at 21 MPa. Part H, miscellaneous structures includes the following: reflectorized steel plastic pavement markings white, reflectorized steel plastic pavement markings yellow, and single arm solar LED roadway lighting 125 watts and 12 meter pole. For contract ID 25 M00199, preventive maintenance in Violent Dasan Parking Road. Section ID S01761MN from K1868 plus 000 to K1872 plus 000, Sultan Mastura, Maguindanao del Norte. Contract ID 26M00003, preventive maintenance, Makilala Alabali Road from K1624 plus 000 to K1625 plus 095, Blanc North Cotabato. Contract ID 26M00004, preventive maintenance, Makilala Alabali Road from K1625 plus 095 to K1626 plus 180, Blanc North Cotabato. Contract ID 26M00005, preventive maintenance, Makilala Alabali Road from K1626 plus 180, K1627 plus 684, Milan North Cotabato. Contract ID 26M00014, preventive maintenance, primary roads, Maharlika Highway, Marbel Makar Road from K1687 plus 744, K1687 plus 704, Tupi South Cotabato. Contract ID 26M00015, preventive maintenance, primary roads, Maharlika Highway, Lagos Maka Road from K1648 plus 486, K1648 plus 865, General Santos City. Contract ID 26M00015, preventive maintenance, primary roads, Maharlika Highway, Lagos Maka Road, K1648 plus 486 to K1648 plus 865, General Santos City. Contract ID 26M00016, preventive maintenance, primary roads, Maharlika Highway, Lagos Maka Road from K1652 plus 110 to K1652 plus 701, General Santos City. And contract ID 26M00017, preventive maintenance, Maharlika Highway, Marbel Maka Road from K1699 plus 485, K1700 plus 038, Colonel City. The scope of work is as follows. Part A, facilities for the engineer includes the following: provision of field office for the engineer on rental basis, and provision of 4x4 pickup type service vehicle for the engineer on rental basis. Part B, other general requirements includes the following: project billboard signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, and mobilization. Part C, earthworks includes the following: removal of actual structures and obstruction, and structure excavation in common soil. Part E, surface courses includes the following: emulsified asphalt, bituminous concrete surface wearing course, hot laid 50 mm stick, and bituminous concrete surface binder course, hot laid 50 mm stick. Part F, bridge construction includes the following: reinforcing steel deformed with 40 and structural concrete, class B at 21 MPa. Part H, miscellaneous structures includes the following: reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white, reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings yellow, concrete joint sealant, hot poured elastic type, and single arm solar LED roadway, lighting 80 to 125 watts on a 12-meter pole. That will be all information.
Thank you, engineer. So to proceed with the discussion and the documents to be submitted by the bidders as to the technical proposal and financial proposals of the participating bidders as well as the process on the electronic submission and receipt of bids for the procurement of civil works contracts. So this will be discussed correspondingly by Engineer Janela Maria Romano, Engineer Armo Malazarte, and Engineer Vanessa J. Salazar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Once again, good morning, everyone. I will be discussing the technical requirements. For the first bid envelope, it shall contain the following technical documents, including the eligibility documents. First is the Field Job Certificate of Registration of Platinum Membership in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR. Second is the PCAM license and registration in case of joint venture. Third, statement of always ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity in the contract review. Fourth is the statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract in accordance with ITV clause 5.4. The SLCC shall be supported by an owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPS or a similar performance and monitoring system. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. Fifth is the NFCC computation in accordance with ITB clause 5.6. Sixth is the joint venture agreement, if applicable, and lastly, the bid security in the prescribed form and amount in accordance with ITB clause 16 and validity period under ITB clause 15. Additional information, all prospective bidders are reminded that they must declare at least one completed contract to serve as their single largest completed contract. The declared SLCC must be consistent with and supported by the records reflected in the CWA. In addition, the net financial contracting capacity must be consistent with the completed contracts reflected in CWA. The financial capacity stated in the NFCC must be supported by the bidder's actual completed projects as recorded in the CWA, and all documents must be verified. These requirements are pursuant to RA 12009, non-compliance and misrepresentation shall result from disqualification and may subject the bidder to sanctions under RA 1200. To proceed, the discussion on the Department Order number 166, years of 2024, a revised guidelines on the issuance of certificate of completion, certificate of final acceptance for local non-resident. Under section 90.2 of the RA 12009, for the procurement of infrastructure projects, the following warranty shall be made. Under section 90.2.1, from the time project construction commenced up to final acceptance, the contractor shall assume full responsibility for the payment. Any damage or destruction of the work, except those occasionally enforcement work, safety, protection, security, and convenience of its personnel, third parties, and the public at large, as well as the rates, equipment, installation, and the like, will be affected by its construction. Section 90.2.2, 1 year from project completion up to final acceptance of the defects liability period. A, the contractor shall undertake the repair works at its own expense of any damage to the infrastructure on account of the use of materials of inferior quality, defects in the construction, or due to any violation of the terms of the contract within 90 calendar days from the time when the whole constitutional order to undertake repair. In case of failure or refusal to comply with this mandate, the procuring entity shall undertake such repair works and shall be entitled to full reimbursement of expenses incurred therein upon demand. B, the defects liability period should be covered by the performance security of the contractor report in section 68 of this IRR, which shall guarantee that the contractor perform its responsibilities stated in the immediately preceding section. If the contractor fails to comply with its obligations under section 90.2.2A of this IRR, The procuring entity shall complete its performance plan. Subject these properties to attachment or garnishment proceedings. And may impose the appropriate penalty under sections 19, 100, and 101 of IRR of RA 100. All payables of the GOP in its period shall be outside 30 months.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Madam Chair, for the project technical requirements to be submitted by our prospective leader. First is the organizational chart for the contract to be bid signed by the authorized managing officer. Next is the contractors list of key personnel. So these are the project manager, DPWH accredited contractors, project engineer, DPWH accredited contractors, materials engineer, construction safety officer 3, and construction foreman. For project manager, kindly include a copy of the TIN ID card. Per project engineer, only accredited project engineers may be assigned to DPWH projects, subject to the limits given in Department Order Number 148, Series of 2024. For construction of buildings and bridges, contractors shall assign DPWH accredited project engineers in accordance with Department Order Number 227, Series of 2024, and shall attach certificate of accreditation or report of rating. For materials engineer, must be DPWH accredited materials engineer. Attach certificate of accreditation. For safety officer 3, with mandatory 40-hour basic OSH training course applicable to the industry and additional 48 hours of advanced occupational safety training relevant to the industry as required by the DOLE in Department Order Number 198-8. Attach also a copy of certificate of training for safety officer 3. For pledged personnel, should not hold more than one position or designation per project. Attach or submit a copy of professional tax receipt for the current year for the assigned key personnel. So all pledged key personnel should submit the respective qualifications and experience data, which the work experience is similar to the project being procured, and this personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience set in the bid data sheet. Other pertinent documents, latest general information sheet reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission for corporations, and sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership in accordance with Section 82 of the Implementing Rules and Regulations of RA number 12009 and PhilJets Advisory number 2025-007. All bidders shall be required to submit a sworn disclosure of relation and beneficial ownership, clearly identifying the natural persons who ultimately own, control, or benefit from the bidding entity, whether directly or indirectly, through shareholding, voting rights, contractual arrangement, or other means of control in accordance with Section 81.1 of the IRR of RA number 12009. Also, we require SO 9001 2015 certification or its latest applicable version in accordance with Department Order Number 110, Series of 2024. For the list of contractors, major equipment unit pledged to be used for the contract must be supported by proof of ownership if it is owned or for lease agreement. For leased equipment, a lease contract and certification or statement of availability of equipment should be submitted with the lessor or owner as the pledger of the equipment, stating that the equipment will be available during post-qualification and for the whole duration of the project, duly signed and authorized. For owned equipment, certification or statement of availability of equipment should be submitted as the owner of the equipment, stating that the equipment will be available during post-qualification and for the whole duration of the project, duly signed and authorized. For purchase agreement, the description of the equipment to be purchased must be indicated in the document. Pledged vehicles purchased by the bidder, contractor, or covered by purchase agreement must be registered under the name of the proprietor or the company within 1 year from the execution of the agreement. Vehicles that remain unregistered under the specified name within 1 year of the execution of the deed of sale will be deemed non-responsive. Pledged vehicles should be validly insured under a policy other than the compulsory third-party liability and should have a valid registration with the Land Transportation Office on the day of the opening of bids. Bidders must attach the following in their submitted bids. First is the copy of the LTO official receipt or certificate of registration of their pledged vehicle registered under the name of the proprietor or the company, and a copy of the proof of insurance of pledged vehicle other than compulsory third-party liability. So in all cases, the bidder should present the original of the documents during post-qualification. For the asphalt projects, submit or attach a copy of certificate of accreditation issued by DPWH BRS as per the 253 series of 2003. So in addition, the location it operates must be located within the scope of this region. All documents in support of the ownership of equipment pledge and all other documents photocopied from the original must be clear, readable, and certified as true copies. Next is the omnibus sworn statement by the prospective bidder in the form prescribed by the GPPB, duly signed and notarized. Minimum testing materials equipment. Contractors are required for the inclusion of the minimum materials testing equipment in the technical component of the bid in compliance with Department Order Number 11 series of 2017. Contractors shall attach a copy of the inspection report and certification from DPWH. Next is the sworn statement, conflict of interest, duly signed and notarized. Last is the contractor certification affidavit on key personnel as a Department Order Number 9 series of 2012, duly signed and notarized.
Good morning, everyone. For the financial requirements, first is the bid form. It must be in accordance with the form described in Section 9 legal forms. Contractors must write the original total price of bid written in figures and in words. The contractor has a discount offered. Please write the methodology of your application and indicate the new bid amount written in figures and in words. For the discounts offered, it will be deducted on the original bid and not on the APC, and the amount written in words will prevail. Second is the bid prices and the bill of quantities. It consists of bid prices written in figures and in words. Third is the detailed estimates. It includes summary sheets indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rental use, indicating also the direct and indirect costs in coming up with the bid. Fourth is the quarterly or monthly cash flow and payment schedule. There is also a prescribed form in Section 9 of bidding forms. And please take note that for the facilities for the engineer, the provision of 4x4 pickup type service for the engineer on rental basis will be the same as stated in the bid documents. The financial proposal that exceed the ABC indicated shall be rejected, and any missing documents in the mentioned checklist is ground for outright rejection. Next, the Department Order Number 110 series of 2024, the implementation of ISO 9001-2015 certification requirement for large A, medium A, and medium B contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of the department. It's stating that all projects greater than 30 million are required to attach the ISO 9001-2015 certification to the submitted technical documents. For the other pertinent issues, first, contractor's bid was submitted in one original copy and two photocopies. Likewise, the same must be book-bounded, properly labeled, tagged, and paginated as per the number 90 series of 2002. And for those contractors who will use SPA in submission of bid, please be informed that we will only acknowledge it if there is a corresponding email of the said SPA from the official email address of the contractors. Next is the requirements in notice of award. First is the notice with your signed conforme. There are the required performance security, the required credit line or cash deposit certificate if applicable, the required contractors all risk insurance, the precedence diagram method, manpower schedule, equipment utilization schedule, project organization chart, construction method, and construction safety and health program approved by the DOLE. Next is the three-strike policy of the department. The provision governing the imposition of administrative sanctions for contractors that commit acts which tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, such as habitually withdrawing from bidding, submitting late bids, or patently insufficient bid for at least 3 times within a year except for valid reasons. I will also discuss the electronic submission and receipt of bids for the procurement of civil work contracts. For the preparation and submission of bids, prior to the deadline of submission of bid, the bidder shall send a copy of official receipt of purchase of bidding documents in PDF format. An auto reply email shall be sent to the bidder after successfully sending the official receipt to the proper email address. Bidder must prepare the electronic bid in a password protective archive format and submit it to the email address identified in invitation to bid and bidding the sheet. The submitted electronic bid shall contain 2 files, the technical and financial proposal, both in a password protective archive format. Bidders must submit their electronic bid using the registered email address in CWA. The password protective archive file submitted must be opened or accessed by using the password provided by the bidder and must be successfully opened or accessed by the bank. Bidders shall be given a maximum of 3 attempts or a period of 15 minutes, whichever comes first, to provide the correct password except in unforeseen justifiable circumstances. Otherwise, the bidder shall be disqualified and the bidder may also be subjected to the sanctions under DO number 17 series of 2015, the three-strike policy as may be warranted under the circumstances. The official email address of our office is electronicbids_r12@tpwh.gov.ph. That would be all.
Ito. Stop lang ito.
We have just here the discussions of the 3 lovely engineers, para ito, lady engineers, of the documents submitted by the leaders on the technical and financial proposals. So to present the summary of proceedings, we'll hear from Engineer Daniela Mariel Romano.
Madam Chair, for the summary of proceedings for today's pre-bid conference for 14 contracts under civil works. The basic contract data, including contract description, ABC and duration, was discussed by Engineer Marshall Houston and requirements of bidding documents, including the instructions to bidders, the specifications, and the bill of quantities, was discussed by Engineer Roberto Padilla and the Capulong. The documents to be submitted by the bidders in the technical proposal was discussed by yours truly, Engineer Janela Manuel Romano and Engineer Orton Lazarte. Documents to be submitted in the financial proposal and the guidelines for the electronic submission of receipt of bids was discussed by Engineer Melissa James Salazar. For the 14 contracts discussed, the deadline of the bid submission is on June 18, 2026 at 10 AM. And the bid opening shall be on the same date, June 18, 2026. Any revisions or changes in the discussed contracts will be reflected in the additional bid bulletins if there will be any. That will be all.
June 18, bid opening. So the 14 civil works project subject of this pre-bid conference will be, the bid opening will be on June 18, 2026. So are there any comments from the back members as to the schedule? Okay, so June 18 is actually our third party audit. Yeah. It's probably close. June 18 is our day.
Alam mo, may paano. Kaya yung sa third party natin, hindi natin alam ang mga meeting. Hindi niya, because in such a time, alitin mo yun. Okay. Yes. Sa ano pa sa PDT-83, kahit walang local regulation, most of the sites are excused from being I
17, sir.
everything. So, in other places na nagkaroon ng local holidays, nag-reschedule ito na. Yun ang pick up sa akin ng mga ibang. Sa central office, na-coordinate ako na baka magkalupag holiday tayo. Kaya nasabi sila, in other office, nag-reschedule sila. Pag-declare ko na po.
Yung pa dito sa konti pa na pa. So tayo nag-control na jigs, ano to? Okay, ito pa.
Saan ko isa pa? Saan lang ako?
Possible na magbida ito natin na unity.
Pwede naman yung plans, yung hinintay na natin yung firm drawing na po.
Protect.
So, response naman din ang course of coaching. Wala naman sila, commit naman sila na magiging yung
Hindi natin pwede ma-excuse yung week of that state ng June 18. What if sabi nila ng Monday, Tuesday? Instead of Wednesday, Thursday.
Bakit atras?
Makiyas din. Yes, 20% per day.
So assistant, sir.
Dito, pwede sa next week niya. Follow it.
Pwede matiwala eh.
Or kung ano, i-receive na lang natin kung hindi possible naman. Okay.
Opening pa tayo ng June 23. So, mag-waiting po, itagdag sa June 23.
Uy, bakit ito? Isa lang mong pag-upilap. Kung sino-sino.
Lagi rin yung isa sa meron na rin yung schedule dito. Witness na rin kasi sila. So, assist na lang.
Assistant. Baka pwede i-receive lang natin. Hindi natin kaya i-use.
So, the back agreed to adapt 99 as presented by the Secretariat for the opening of these 14 civil works contracts on June 18, 2026. So, any other items in our agenda for pre conference? So, there being none, so what is the pleasure of the back members? For the
over the year, it's maybe receiving it's
Or to do the next.
report.
There's 6 projects. So, it's very more.
There is a motion being seconded for the adjournment of the tweeted conference and to proceed with the pre-procurement conference for the contracts for the consulting services. So are there any objections? So there being none, so the motion is hereby approved.